Hello, my fellow nerds, and thanks again for watching another episode of Nerdboy Gaming. I am Nerdboy81. Ark Survival Ascended is out, and it is upon us. I got about two and a half hours roughly of gameplay last night. I was there as the game launched, got it downloaded, and was able to get in and play it. I have a link below in the description to the raw gameplay that I put on YouTube earlier, and then this is my first initial thoughts of Ark Survival Ascended. This is a look at the good and the bad of ASA. Now, I played this on a PC. I actually went over to my sister's house, Sheraton's, who actually has a PC that can run this because mine cannot, and was able to play it on her computer. I've never played on PC before, so there may be some things that I speak of that have been in the game the whole time, but as a console player, felt like something new for me. I'll talk a little bit later about what gaming system I was playing on. It's the quality of the rig as we get down into some of the bad. But first, let's talk about the good. Clearly, the best part about ASA right out of the top is the graphics. The graphics in this game look amazing. The foliage, the water, the cliff faces, the rocks, it all looks so nice. Just the little features like the plants, the fronds getting wet when it rains, or the dead fronds that are coming off the banana trees, the grass. The game looks really, really pretty. I mean, it is a very, very pretty game now. The textures in your hand, your skin, your body, all are really nice. The atmospheres, the evenings, the skies, the clouds. I could go on and on. The game looks really nice. It is clearly an Unreal Engine 5 game. In fact, I recognize assets from the Unreal 5 demo that came out in this game. The rock faces. It looks really nice. Wildcard did a fantastic job of bringing Unreal Engine 5 to Ark Survival Ascended. If you thought that ASA was just going to be a reskin of ASE with just some makeup, it is absolutely definitely not that. If you've played ASE for thousands of hours, you will be able to jump into the island and you're probably going to feel like this is a little bit different map. I know I only had about 110 hours on the island, and just playing this, I definitely felt like I had the nostalgia of, oh, I know where this is. I started on the South Beach. I was on the South Beach. I knew what this was. But yet you would find yourself going, wait, where am I? Where am I in relation to where I was on ASE? There are just things that are different, which makes the game feel different enough to give returning players a new feel to this game. In addition to some of the quality of life features and some of the new items in the game, I believe this will give you guys just enough to make this feel like it's a new game or maybe even a new map. A perfect example is I was going to the obelisk. I was walking to the red obelisk, and in ASE, I was able to follow the beach line all the way around and head to the obelisk. Well, in this ASA, there's a point where you're following the beach and you just come to a cliff face. You can't just walk over it. You can't walk around it. I literally had to get in the water and swim around it. Those are the little features I think are going to make this feel just like a different experience for returning players. And of course, there are new assets. Now, I didn't get a chance to spend too much time building or crafting too many things. I really was just exploring the game, looking at the beauty of this world, the night skies and the colors and the lights. But the sleeping bags look nicer. The mortal and pistol look nicer. The campfire looks nicer. But there's also new berries that are going to help you with customizing your character. All those things look really nice. And then, of course, there's what I'm calling S Plus Lite. Having played on console and always on vanilla console, I never got a chance to play with S Plus or some of those mods. But I was reminded about it almost every time I was doing building on my streams. I'd have people telling me like, oh, you should be able to, oh, wait, no, that's just S Plus. Or, oh, you should be able to, oh, no, that was just S Plus. I'm hoping we're going to see more of those make it to console. Things like when you place down a foundation and you do it wrong, you can pick it back up without losing all those materials, without having to demolish it. And you could do it. It's not just on the cooldown timer. It's like long time later, I walked back over, picked up the foundation. That's a really nice feature. That alone for me was such a big quality of life. I really hope that makes its way to the console. There's a few things that are probably on PC, like the ability to split like your meat into individual stacks that you can't do on the console. Maybe that'll be on the console in this version. I don't know. We'll see when that officially launches. Of course, another good attribute to ASA is the character creator. I didn't spend too much time in this, but just on the surface, I could tell it is completely different than the ASE, where it's a completely better make than the ASE version. The ASA allows you to actually customize your character, allows you to do some different builds. You're going to be able to have a lot of fun with it. I think that's going to be a nice little feature improvement especially for returning players who are kind of tired of the old models. You're going to be able to get to play with some new models. And then, of course, there's baby dinos. Clearly the cutest thing on the island. It's so cute to walk around and see a little baby dino with his parents. It just is a really nice little feature. It really makes the world feel a lot more alive with these little infants running around that, of course, you can tame. And we're not going to talk about how you have to Bambi the poor little guy to make it, tameable. But it is there. They are cute. And it is amazing. So all in all, guys, some of the good, clearly the graphics, S+ integrations or S+ Lite integrations, the dinos, the berries, some new assets, and just kind of the rework of the map looks really great. But with the good comes the bad. And there are some things that need to be addressed. And I know I am new to Wildcard and Snail Games and the release of Ark, I am very, very new. This is the first release I've gone through with them. And I know all the veterans out there are already laughing because you already know what I'm about to say. That launch was an absolute disaster. And here's what I mean. Yes, the game came out. Yes, we got to play it. And yes, it happened to come out the same day it said it would if you were on the West Coast. But it just was the whole lead up to this. So on Monday, we hear there's a trailer. So, and maybe I'm a little bit selfish because I'm a content creator and I want to create content and be a voice of Ark. I want to be a part of this community. And it's a challenging thing as a creator to get content up early, get it be some of the first out, have good content that you guys can consume. So on Monday, we hear there's a trailer. So I decide Wednesday morning, I've got to work. I've got a real life outside of this, which is unfortunate, but it's what is reality. So I've got to work. So I know I'm not going to be able to watch the trailer till I get home. So I have this whole plan. I'm going to hide under a rock, ignore everything. The trailer comes out. I'll do my review. My thought is that in that trailer, it was going to say, hey, the game is launching on this day, and there would be some time for us to consume the trailer a bunch of times, make content, and then get ready for the launch, and maybe even prepare ourselves for the launch of this game. The trailer comes out. At the very end, it just says coming soon, which of course, that alone was a message I think a lot of people got nervous about. What do you mean coming soon? You don't have a date? I mean, it should be any day now. I think there was optimism that it could possibly be Wednesday, but I think everybody was really thinking Thursday or Friday at the best case. I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Monday or Tuesday of next week. So we were certainly not expecting to find out it was coming out that day, which you could only find if you read the description of the YouTube channel for the ASA launch trailer. It said coming today, consoles in November, which we'll get to the consoles thing. That's another bad. That's just something else we'll talk about here in a minute. Then there was no time, right? So everybody's hanging on the Discord, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, this game is going to launch. Then it gets closer to 4, we're going to push it back. And then it gets closer to the next time, we're going to push it back. And what ends up happening is all of us are sitting here staring at the Discord, looking at these ASCII dicks being drawn all over the page, which was terrible on its own, not because of the content, just the childish nature of people. It became dark, it became grungy, it became a place nobody wanted to be. There are good people in this community who are very interested in this game, and then there are the trolls and those who just want to cause chaos, I guess. So eventually the game does eventually come out and we all get a chance to do it. I just would say, this would be my note, take it or leave it. It sure would have been a better launch if at the end of that trailer it said coming on Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then Wildcard would have all this time to finalize those details that they were rushing around finalizing yesterday. They had some time to get that done, and we could have had maybe some pre-orders where you could actually have bought the game early, been ready, had it ready for launch. Creators could have had their schedule built around it. It just was not a great launch. That being said, let's talk about another bad, the console delay. This is a bummer. This is a bummer for me. It hurts my heart. I can't play ASA at home on my rig. I have a 1070 that's 9 years old. I don't even think it has an SSD drive. It's an old computer. I don't have the money to go buy a new one, but I have an Xbox Series X. So I was really excited to be able to play this with you guys early on. I don't blame Wildcard for it. It turns out it had to do something with the certification with multiplayer. There was an issue. So It had to be delayed. We don't have a date though. Again, another delay. Here's my concern on the console delay is that they're not going to put a whole lot of effort into the console over the next few days, mainly because they're going to have to fix the performance of ASA, which is the third bad, the performance. I was playing on a 2060 16 gig SSD. It's an i9. It's a good rig. It was a little below the recommended specs, but higher than the minimum. For sure higher than the minimum. The 2.5 hours I had, it ran great. There was screen tearing. There was pixelization around the characters. Now, admittedly, I didn't spend any time trying to optimize the game because it's not even my computer. It ran well and it looked good. Honestly, it really did look good. I do feel really bad for those people who found out on Wednesday on the Steam page that their computer would not run this game and they didn't have time to even try to order a new graphics card or make the adjustments or do what they needed to do. That is a bummer on its own. But besides that, I've had several other content creators who I've been watching have had crashes. The servers have been up and down. There is performance issues. Those will stabilize, but it is something that needs to be addressed. And it is part of the bad on this. Additionally, the only other really things I had any issues with, I didn't find that all the dinos were that impressive. The trailer showed the raptor, so a lot of people want to see the raptor. I got attacked by a raptor, but I had the game set on easy because I was just really looking to do some exploring. And I took it out real quick. I don't even know that I got to notice how it looked. I will tell you that some of the dinos didn't feel fully reskinned. They just kind of looked like the same dino. Not a big issue. Nothing that was certainly game breaking or brought me out of the immersion of the game. I would think the biggest issue for me would have been just some of the performance, some of the opening, for instance, the opening shot. The moment the game starts, it was extremely choppy. That made me really nervous right out of the gate. Like, okay, is this computer even going to be able to run this thing? It was very choppy. Eventually it caught up. So those are a couple of the things. This game is clearly an early release. It's still a work in progress. So with that, guys, let me give you my final thoughts. This game is going to be fun. The good news for all of you out there, and I know some of you are trashing on the game, don't like it already, or like, this is typical Wildcard. They can't get the release together. It's delayed on console. You need to have a NASA computer to be able to run it. Here's the good news, guys. This game is going to get better. Mods are going to come. The modder community is going to do what it does. It's going to make the game run better. It's going to add things to the game. It's going to continue to optimize the game. Wildcard is going to continue to work on this. There's going to be new maps. New things are going to come. This game will only get better from here. And where it's sitting right now for me is clearly, I would say, an 8 out of 10. It's a really good game. Maybe I'm a little bit fanboyish because I've spent the last 110 hours playing this game. I've really enjoyed it. I was really excited for it. The game looks good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a new experience. And I'm really excited to share some of that with you guys. I, all in all, am very excited for the future of Ark Ascended, a future of where Ark 2 could be in a couple years. I am excited for what this will become. It's maybe a little bit rough right now, so I understand we all just spent some money to get this game. It's a little bit rough right now, but I promise I can tell you it's gonna get better. Think about where this game was in 2015 or 16 when it initially launched as ASE, or think about even games like No Man's Sky or games like Skyrim. All of those games had their issues at launch, but the community, the modders, the developers all continue to develop and work on their games and make them better. So with that, guys, I'm telling you, this game is going to be good. It's going to be exciting. And I'm really excited to share our adventures to come because the story of Krug is far from over.